Imagine you are the most powerful human being on the planet. You have the wealth of empires at your feet, and your word is the absolute law for millions. You are a god among men, but as you look out from your palace, you don't see glory. You see a world on fire. The Antonine Plague is rotting your cities from the inside out. Your borders are being crushed by barbarian tribes. Your closest friends are betraying you, and your own body is failing. What do you do when the weight of the world is literally on your shoulders? Most men would break. Most would hide in wine and excess. But one man chose a different path. He didn't write a manifesto for the public. He wrote a private diary for himself, a book of reminders on how to stay sane in an insane world. He was Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors. Today, we step into the mind of a man who ruled the world but conquered only himself. This is the story of how to find peace in the middle of chaos. In 165 AD, a nightmare returned to Rome with the legions. A plague so deadly, it killed nearly 2,000 people a day. Bodies were piled in the streets, and the economy collapsed. At the same time, the Germanic tribes were crossing the Danube, threatening to wipe Rome off the map. Marcus Aurelius spent the last 14 years of his life in cold, muddy tents on the front lines, not in the luxury of Rome. He lived in the dirt with his soldiers. It was here, by the flickering light of a candle, that he wrote his Meditations. He wasn't writing about politics or war. He was writing about how to deal with difficult people, how to handle the fear of death, how to get out of bed when you have no motivation. He realized that, while he couldn't control the plague or the barbarians, he had total control over his own mind. He called it the inner Citadel, a fortress that no enemy could ever breach. What was the secret that kept him standing? It was 3 simple, brutal truths. First, dichotomy of control. Marcus believed that most of our suffering comes from trying to control things we can't. The weather, the plague, other people's opinions, these are not your business. Your only business is your own character and your own actions. Second, Amor, Fati, the love of fate. To Marcus, everything that happens is exactly what was meant to happen. He didn't just endure his hardships, he embraced them. He said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle was just fuel for his fire. Third, memento mori. He carried the constant reminder that he could die at any moment. This didn't make him sad. It made him urgent. It made him kind. If you knew today was your last day, would you spend it complaining? Marcus used death as a filter to remove everything that was of no use. When Marcus Aurelius finally died in a cold camp in 180 AD, he didn't die as a conqueror, but as a philosopher. He never intended for his diary to be published. He wrote it to save himself. But 2,000 years later, his words are still the ultimate guide for leaders, athletes, and ordinary people facing their own plagues. The world hasn't changed much since Rome. We still face chaos, betrayal, and uncertainty. But the lesson of Marcus Aurelius remains. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You don't need a perfect life to be a good person. You just need to decide, right now, to stand up and do your duty. As Marcus would say, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. The empire may have fallen, but the emperor's mind is still leading the way. What will you do with your own inner citadel?